welcome to the channel. I'm Caleb Morrison. This is Caleb's Diesel and Fabrication. If you like fabricating stuff, if you like working on diesel vehicles, this is a great place to be because we're going to do it all. Alright guys, so here's the good news is I got all of the little brackets made up today with the help of Craig getting them cut out. I got my crossbar that goes from each shock tower on. It's looking pretty good. I'm really happy with it. You can tell every time I weld something onto this thing just how stout it's getting. I'm really happy with it. I'll show you guys what it looks like. You can see the bars in. I got my little pieces brackets made. That way it kind of ties that all in. And then I also put on these brackets to help with a little bit of back and forth flexing. And then I got this piece made as well to go on the back side. Got it burned in. Went ahead and fired up the stick welder and made these pieces to go from the inside down to the bottom of the flange of the frame. And you know, one thing that they recommend is just beefing it up. And you know, I'm pretty certain that I'm not going to have any trouble with that, but every little brace that's just a piece of 1/4 inch plate is going to help. I did it on both sides, got it welded in. You can see where the stress is going to be. It's going to be moving those in and out. I might put another one back there, but just a lot of welding, a whole lot of welding. I got these brackets put on as well, them on the top, and then I got my piece in. It's solid, it's not going anywhere. I ended up making this little kicker for my back piece. I thought that would give it some more back and forth action, especially when it's this close to this steering shaft. And then I got this capped off. I got this finished welded out, the bracket underneath the tube. Pretty happy with the way that turned out. I ended up throwing a couple of 70-18 welds on my panhard bar bracket. Happy with that. Just a lot of welding, a lot of bracing up. I still have yet to work on my steering setup. I got to get this all braced in here and tightened up, but I opened up my box from Off-Road Design and got my steering shaft base in, a piece of 3/8 plate. I got my Borgeson steering setup from him. Comes with all the joints to get this thing where I can set it off to the side and make it look right. That way it'll steer good. Got my spacers that I put the bolts through, so it's going to be pretty sweet. All in all, it's coming together pretty good. I was able to make all of these brackets there again out of the cardboard like I've been doing on this whole project, and I'm just thankful that I've learned some of these tricks in the past. You just use the cardboard, make it how you want it with some scissors, and then you get the perfect bracket, and it's set up the way you want it and braced up. I don't think I'm going overboard on it. I think I'm just making it stouter. I'm really happy with the way it's turning out. You know, sometimes I wish it would go a little bit faster, but I'm just enjoying the project. Hope you guys are following along with me and you guys are enjoying it too. It's a lot of work, but I think it's going to rip around. It's going to be pretty sweet whenever we get it done, and I think it'll be something to be proud of. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to, like, comment, subscribe, you know, help me out. Tell me what I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad. If you got some suggestions, love to hear them. If you got an opinion about my welding or things that I can improve on, throw those in there too. I always like good and bad comments. I like to read them, so appreciate it. Thanks guys, have a good one. Hey guys, another day in the shop here. Well, I got a couple things going on. To start it out though, I went skiing up in Red River, New Mexico. Had a great time. Went with some guys I work with at the fire department. Worked with in the past, and just it's a good trip. Good to clear your head, and I really enjoy skiing. Man, it's just a great time of year for it. You know, beginning of January, not as busy. So anyways, got back, had a lot of time to think about the whole project here, and things are going well. I'm still happy with the progress we're making so far. A couple things I'm going to have to address right off the bat. I ordered some misalignment spacers, the high misalignment spacers from Rough Stuff Specialties to get my steering completely done. So here's what I got going on. You can see on these reed knuckles, they come with a really good a double shear point for these reed knuckles, and so they're made with a taper for like a Chevy tie rod end, which, you know, if you're gonna go with somewhat stock setup, it probably worked fine. But for me, I need to actually go with a high misalignment spacer and a 3/4 bolt. So what I'm going to end up doing, which I'll show you, this is the arm. It matches the other side, except it's got one extra hole for my double shear, which this is the driver's side. But on this side, I'm going to have to end up, I already drilled this one out to 3/4, so a 3/4 bolt will fit down inside of there. Well, this one has a taper, so it only halfway goes down inside of there. Well, I need this drilled out. Luckily, I have a machinist friend. His name's Austin. He's got a lathe, a mill. He's got all that at his shop. He's super smart. Been that way since high school. He's a professional machinist. Does it at home as well. So anyways, I'm going to take this arm over to him and have him machine that out to a 3/4 inch bolt. And that way I can get this part of the knuckle put back together and I can get the steering done. So I was just test fitting everything up. Another thing I saw, which, you know, I'll step back for a second. So a lot of things you see on, you know, Facebook, Instagram, TV shows is these guys, you know, never make a mistake. They never have any roadblocks. It seems like, anyways. And to me, I know that's not real life because I run into roadblocks a lot and I'm still learning. Like, I'm not the best at this, but I'm learning and I'm loving it. I'm soaking it up. So I'll show you one thing I run into, and I'm going to have to figure out a solution to this problem. So as you know, I ended up moving my steering box, which I haven't got it completely welded in, but I got my spacers on, but I moved my steering box back 2¼ inches back from its original spot. So this is kind of where it would have been. You can see where I cut the plate out and then I put a new piece of plate in here. Well, that moved my pitman arm forwards, which is what I'm going for. It needs to go forwards. And also I have a panhard bar here. Well, I'll show you guys. So this is my double shear setup. I want to make a little foot that kicks from here down and goes below this bolt and tightens up. So what I got going on here, this is the side, it's going to move back and forth, which you guys can't see because that tag is in the way. But we'll fix that. Anyway, so this moves back and forth, and it's, you know, allows that to really make it, you know, flex back and forth. Well, the problem is you see the bolt itself is hitting my panhard bar and it's just barely hitting on the bolt. So I got a couple different options here. You know, I could find a shorter pitman arm, pitman arm. I don't really want to do that because I'm going to lose range of motion in my steering box. I cannot move this farther any more forwards. I've already trimmed out my front clip a little bit to make this fit. You can see it's super close from the bottom. It's way farther forwards. So I can either take this, I can probably cut this pitman arm a little bit and move this bracket back a hair, but I don't want to do that too much because it will be starting to make contact with my oil pan. So you see the bar right there? When it's at full bump, it hits my oil pan, or it could possibly hit my oil pan if I move that. So I'm gonna have to get creative and find out the best way for me to get this to work. I want to run this high misalignment spacer on this setup because I want it to clear, and I also want it to be able to flex out a lot. Some would say you can just take the bolt out and just bolt, you know, my drag link to it, and I just can't do it. So that's where I'm at. I'm gonna have to get creative here, figure out geometry wise how I can do this. I need to do some more looking at it, chewing on it, and see what I can do. So just showing you guys that it ain't all just rainbows and happiness and things don't just fall into place. I love it when they do, but on a custom build like this, that's how it goes. I've said it before, I'll say it a million times. It's why they call it fabricating, is because you are doing everything from top to bottom. So anyways, that's where we're at. We'll see what we can get into, and I'll show you what I come up with. Okay guys, I've been thinking on the fly here. This is 10 minutes later. That's how it goes sometimes. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm thinking to get this to fit. You can see I got the axle at full bump. Look how close the panhard bar is to my differential. It's 1/8 of an inch. I cannot move. I just can't move the panhard bar any farther closer to the cab. It's gonna be hitting the differential. I just can't move it. So here's what I'm thinking. I thought about recessing this nut right here into this bracket, trying to move it in and then bring it in here, but I don't want to move this. I can't. This panhard bar is made to move back and forth a little bit inside there, but it can't move back. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I already have to go see my buddy Austin and machine that arm here in just a little bit. So what I'm thinking is I am gonna mark this bolt head, and what I'm gonna do is have him with the lathe turn this bolt head down about halfway. So basically from here to here, I'm gonna have him turn it down where it just barely has a landing spot for the socket, so I can still get a socket on it. All right, and it's a little off in left field, I know, but I think it'll work. The bolt's really not gonna move that much. I'm gonna go ahead and buy another bolt just in case, and that way something freak deal happens where it breaks, I'll have another one that'll be made the same way. So that's what I'm gonna do. We'll try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the drawing board. But this little trial and error, and I think it'll work. I just got to get it to pass this pitman arm, and I just got to get the steering fixed up and done. So here we are. All right, here I am at Tractor Supply. I'm going to go inside and give me some bolts. One thing that's cool about Tractor Supply is going in here, you're going to make sure that you're going to get the best deal on bolts. They don't sell it by the bolt, they sell it by the pound. So it's pretty nice because you can buy quite a bit of bolts, and it's really not that bad. It's even cheaper than buying it online, in my opinion. So, and it's local to me, so it works out pretty good. So let's go see what they got. Well, I got my bolts. I think I got everything I needed. The good thing about Tractor Supply is I went in there and spent like 21 bucks. Not bad at all. Probably online it would have been close to that, but you know, just think about all of the money I'm saving. Can pour it into my project a different way. So I'm happy with it. Now on to see Austin at the machine shop. Here we go. All right, we're here. My buddy Austin's got my stuff. Ended up going by Subway. Got me a little something to eat. Some meatballs. Doing good. Anyways, got the arm here. We're at his house. We're getting ready to go check it out. Oh. What's up, dude? Oh, not much. Just working on junk. What about you, man?
Not much. Just wrestling underneath the car.
You're a true mechanic.
Let her slap back in.
You're a true mechanic now.
Remember I drove that over a while?
Yeah, I remember that.
The rocker started knocking on it.
Damn, she started knocking like a Jehovah's Witness?
Yeah, I went to LKQ and found a Legacy out there and robbed the rockers off them.
You're lucky you found one.
Yeah. So I robbed the whole valve train off it and just swapped them over. But you can see,
check it out.
Like on that rocker, once I tore the actual needle bearing apart under microscope, you can see all those look like they've been hit with a file.
So you think that was like that beforehand?
Yeah, most likely. I just didn't catch it when I went there the first time.
Well, how could you see it if it's microscopic?
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. Like, here's the other one.
Oh.
Side to side. So that one's actually
not all tore up. Some of these you see they're all tore up, like on the roller. So it was the roller bearings.
Yeah, so feel that one when you spin.
Oh shoot, yeah.
You actually spin it fast or feel it.
Oh yeah, you can feel it.
So what happened was the gap was getting bigger in the lash, you know?
Wow.
And so it's starting to knock like a diesel, like at idle. It was like clack, 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 clack.
That's good if you got a diesel.
Yeah. And so, and I put one of those magnetic drain plugs underneath, you know, on the oil pan and noticed
It's coming out.
I was getting some metal from somewhere.
Great.
So I was like, well, do I pull it and try to figure it out or just run it so it blows out?
Yeah.
I figured, you know what, let's just pull it.
Let's just pull it and see what it looks like.
Because the valve covers on this, there's, you know, each side of the head.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to get to.
Oh man, to even adjust the valves, you got to pull the motor up a little bit.
I see the motor mount in the back, dude.
Yeah, but I just got to drop back in. And if it ticks this time, I'm just going to drive it till
Yeah, we're just going to drive it till it comes apart.
But
I like your style.
those handles?
Yeah. Oh, dude, those look freaking good. So Austin made these handles for a fire engine we're working on. I wish I had the old one that's on my toolbox at the shop, but the old one, it wasn't near this fancy. It was made out of plastic, and it was, you know, a POS. Anyways, Austin, he's a machinist, and that's what he does full time. And then on the side, he does stuff for me because he feels sorry for me, I think. Anyways, this is what he started off with, a little bit of stainless bar. He just machined that out, put some threads on it, made this badass handle, and it's 10 times better than what was on there. So just some other cool stuff. He's got some real skills. Those look awesome, man.
Yeah, they turned out pretty good.
Yeah.
So what do we got going on?
I got a couple of things. I didn't plan on bringing the bolt, but before I got here, I was like, wait a minute, he might be able to do some of this. So you can see I kind of used a drill bit, and this is kind of rough, but it does fit, so that's good.
Gotcha.
This one, it's the tapered one, and I'm going to put a bolt through it for my double shear, 3/4 inch bolt, and so you can feel the taper down here. I just need to bore it out where that bolt will fit inside of there.
Yeah, I got it.
So this, I don't know how heavy duty this is, but I think it's pretty heavy duty.
I bet.
But
I bet some maybe some heat treated material.
well, it came with the reed knuckles, so I'm assuming it's pretty tough. And then this is the other thing. So, all right. So on my panhard bar, which I didn't know this is going to be a thing. The panhard bar is what keeps the axle from moving back and forth.
Yeah.
So basically your four-link goes up and down, and then the panhard bar goes from the frame to the axle, and it lets it move back and forth, but it doesn't let it go side to side. It just goes up and down. So what I'm trying to do is I put my pitman arm on, and this bolt holds the panhard bar in, and the double shear for my pitman arm is touching this bolt on the head. So what I'm thinking, and if we try this, it doesn't work, it doesn't matter, it's one bolt, but I want to try to shave down from here over and still leave a little bit of a shoulder, maybe like, you know, the width of like, you know, 1/8 inch or so.
Yeah, I got you.
And that way, even if I have to get a welder and like tack this into where the panhard bar bracket is,
yeah.
I bought another one of these, so if it ever broke, I keep it in the truck. And that way, I mean, it ain't gonna matter. I'm gonna tighten it up, but if I still had a little bit of,
we can trim that off right on the nail.
so basically it'll be like, I didn't really make a very straight line, but you could tell it just needs to go straight across where that paint pan is, and then come down here and just still have a little bit of a shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, enough for a socket to fit on it.
Yeah, isn't that wild? It's cut that bolt first,
Nice.
just to see exactly.
And you got is this new? I haven't seen this. Dual nozzle. Dude, that's pretty cool.
That's the Noga Mini Cool. It uses air and water, and you can adjust
Oh, okay.
flow of it and stuff. I don't have it hooked up all the way yet, but
So you have like a little, how much does it flow out?
you can adjust it so air pressure and this size. So it's kind of nice on your manual machine. You don't, your flood point, you're not going to go wherever.
Nice. You're making this thing better than it ever has been.
Oh, they're handy.
So it goes down here into the cutting table, right?
It won't. This one won't.
Oh, it won't.
No, it's just a missed
okay.
deal. But if not, if you use flood cooling on manual machines, a lot of times the floor gets covered.
I was gonna say it probably gets dirty.
Yeah. But what we'll do.
What do you think grade 8 bolts are made out of?
Remember, they're
Carbon steel, I know.
they're fairly hard, but this cutter should
We'll see.
do us pretty good. So what we're gonna do is that bolt is 480 on the height there. We're gonna leave 125
Okay.
or around there, you know,
Yeah.
at the bottom. Turn that on, zero that. And then, do you know exactly how far you want it over? I mean, we can just eyeball it.
Yeah, that's probably good. Just long.
We can recut.
Yeah, if it can be at least half of the bolt, basically, I think that would be plenty. It's close, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I almost started, doing the old poor boy grinder method, but then I was like, nope, I'm already going over there. Surely we could trim down the bolt head.
Yeah.
But,
So what we're gonna do is actually that close to zero and we bump the table.
Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen. What are you kind of
A lot of things to eat at first to see how it
struggling? Here, we won't do the bigger than that.
We're gonna spin it fairly fast.
bring up the RPMs, huh?
Well, I'll try about 2,000.
Nice. All right, so it's about 6 o'clock. I've been working quite a bit trying to get this steering all dialed in. A couple of roadblocks, face is all dirty because I've been welding and grinding and cutting and making pieces and all kinds of stuff. So anyways, I'll show you what I did. I went to Austin's and got my pieces all cut out of my arm so I can mount my my misalignment spacers, which this is how this is gonna look on here. It's gonna be right here. I'm thinking about doing it. Maybe tomorrow. I might do it on the bottom. I haven't made up my mind yet, but probably on the top. But those misalignment spacers, they're high misalignment spacers. It makes it so you can actually flex it out pretty good. So I got to put that there. But in the process of doing all that, I found that when I turn my steering back and forth, which if you look across there, you can kind of see, I ended up putting a bend in my track bar here, and I haven't got my spacers in here for my double shear, but when I get that it'll be straight. But I had to bend it out because I was touching my differential here, so that was a problem. I couldn't be touching. The other thing was, which this kind of happened after the fact, and I think I showed you guys this, but this right here was touching this bolt right there. Well, I went and got that machined out of there, so now it clears, just barely, but it clears. So that's all that matters. And we're at full bump right now as well. So I'm doing my dirt lifestyle video I watched. I'm doing my poor man's version of the alignment. I got my piece of angle iron that I cut, that I put on each hub and lined it up. I got them level with the level on each side. And then right here I am at, let's see, 73 5/8 on that one. Now I'm at 73 3/4 on this one. So it's a little towed in, which is what I was going for. So I pretty much got it straight. So what I accomplished today was I got my track bar in there. I went ahead and got the bolt for my panhard bar trimmed, so I could go ahead and get this bar for my pitman arm hooked up. I'm trying to get there. I'm working on it. This is my bar for that. It's the same size, 1.5 inches, 250 wall as well, just like the bar, but that's going to be going on tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Just wanted to get the steering wrapped up, and that way I can tidy this all up, put my wheels on it, and set this thing on the ground on its own weight. That's what I'm really wanting to do. So I'm just learning a whole lot. I mean, like I said, I'm obviously not the best at this, but I don't mind a challenge, and I'm figuring it out. I ended up using the bender here. This is just an old school. It doesn't even say Harbor Freight. It says Central Machinery. It's an older pipe bender that I borrowed from my brother-in-law. It worked pretty decent. What I ended up doing, I put it in the bender and I just started counting how many strokes on the jack I was doing. So I ended up at like 15 strokes, and that gave me the right angle. I probably could have went a little bit less, but I just wanted to make sure that it was far enough away from the front diff that I wouldn't have any problems, and the motion of the drag of the pitman arm itself, I didn't want it to be hitting this piece. So I think it turned out pretty good. Like I said, it's at full bump, so it's way up in there. I do a little bit of trimming. I think it turned out good. This is kind of a mess. You can kind of see I've got tools everywhere. It's funny to me, you see a lot of these guys have shops that you look at their shop and it's spotless, and I'm here to tell you that if you're working on a project and things are going down, it's going to get dirty. So tomorrow when I get done with this part of it for the weekend, I'll probably end up cleaning everything up that I've done, but hopefully I got my steering done and the wheels on it sitting on the ground. That would make me super happy. I also welded up my tabs for my King shocks. Also got my bar for the cage here in the front welded in. It has the pieces that you can take out. You can actually remove that middle piece. I also put some gussets in. Probably going to put a little bit more, but I welded in some gussets on each one of these shock mount hoops on the back side. And then I also went on the inside of the frame here and put in a gusset that goes from the top of the frame to the bottom of the frame on both sides. Probably going to go behind here a little bit more and gusset it a little bit more. I just, packaging wise, wanted to make sure everything was going to fit nice. I still need to get a little bit more done on the bracing, but I want to make it to where it's pretty bulletproof. I also got to weld in some pieces for my steering box. Since I got all that braced up, I just need to go ahead and weld it in fully and get it all done. You know, I had a couple of questions on Instagram about my steering box. I ended up moving it like 2 1/4 inches forwards and putting in a plate where I cut the old template out so I wouldn't have to drill new holes, and filled that all in. So I really think it turned out good. I already put my front clip on just to see if it would fit. I had to do some minimal trimming on it, but it's close. I'm probably gonna have to end up adding a brace underneath here to kind of protect the pitman arm itself and the front of the box, and the hoses for the hydraulic ram assist, but that's okay. I mean, I can do that. I'm not there yet. Mainly just trying to get it sitting under its own weight up here, and I'm happy with it so far. I'm learning a whole lot, and it's like I said, it's fabrication, so here we are, we're figuring it out, and I'm excited because it's going to be right. So hang with me, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm figuring it out as I go and doing as much research as I can, and hope you guys enjoy what's happening here. And if you got any suggestions, definitely put them out there. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me what I'm doing good, what I'm doing bad. Something you have to say it. Appreciate it, guys.